Alright, this is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated with Team Salvato as per usual. Only after the official game, contains spoilers that are required to play this mod can be downloaded for free at the http://sddlc.mo. Yes. So any spoilers, you all listen to that. Now I am going, so this is DDLC SNAFU, or SNAFU. I don't actually know what that means. But I'm very excited because this is one of the few mods I have never seen. I mean, I've seen it around. I saw Kane Monger's thumbnails. I saw that Hope was just playing it recently, and I was like, I should too. So, it's exactly what I'm doing. This is gonna be fun. I'm sorry, Okay, good. I was just checking that the recording software worked. I was actually recording a mod earlier called, settings. Hi, let's turn you down to, like, medium so you guys can hear me a little bit better. Maybe move my mic away just a bit. Alright. Yeah, I had another mod planned for today called, Doki 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 Vision. Funny, goofy mod. Really enjoyable. Just one problem, OBS didn't feel like working for whatever reason, and the screen recorder just shat itself and died, so. I'm running a new mod. By the way, play DGDV on your own time. My phone begins vibrating as soon as I step outside. Hey man, gonna be running a little bit late today, so you can go on ahead. Don't feel too lonely without me. This guy. It's really can't attempt to spare myself from any more of this nonsense. Well, him not being here at least making my morning a little more peaceful. Hey! My attention is drawn to a girl waving her arms in my direction from the side of the road. Unaware of what's going on, I immediately turn around to see if there's anyone standing behind me. Hey! She dashes across the street before stopping in front of me. Are you just gonna ignore me? Not exactly, I was just trying to see who you were waving at. Oh, this is you, of course. Who else would it be? So I was trying to figure out. Jeez, Ruby, you can be so weird sometimes. The girl starting her day off by insulting me is Sayori, someone I've known since elementary school. Alright, so they are still childhood friends. For a minute, I was like, oh god. We used to walk to school together occasionally, but stopped around the beginning of the last term. This distancing wasn't the result of anything either of us had done, but was instead caused by a third party forcing themselves into my life. Sarah and I still talk when we pass each other in school, but our relationship clearly isn't as strong as it used to be. The thought of us growing apart, again, causes a tugging sensation to run through my head. If by weird you mean unique and overflowing of personality, then I agree. That said, what did you expect me to think? The two of us haven't walked to school together in quite a while. Oh, well, yeah. But it's not like I don't want to. You're just always leaving early to go meet Kiba. Early? There's usually only 10 minutes left for the first bell when I show up. Just how late are you leaving exactly? That's not the problem right now. Honestly. Questionable truancy aside, you could always just walk with us. Thanks, but I feel bad for interrupting the two of you. Believe me, interruptions are more than welcome whenever Kiva's around. You'd actually be doing my sanity a favor. I'll keep that in mind then. The brief reunion out of the way, we begin heading towards the school. Speaking of him, have you ever even talked to Kiva? I know the three of us have never been in the same place together before. She is Kiva! Dun dun dun! Said hello to each other in the hall, but that's about it. He seems nice. I get the feeling she's just said something mean in a really polite way. I totally understand. Is there a reason the two of you weren't walking together today, too? Wow, I can't English. Yeah, he said something about running late and to go on without him. I see. Just need to fidget for a second before continuing. Oh, that's right. Ruby, did you know today was the last day to join the culture club? Culture club or literature? Culture club. A culture club. Already? Man, 2 weeks goes by quick. What a drag. Something wrong? Not really. Kiba's just been bugging me about join the Anime Appreciation Club. It's not the anime club, we appreciate it here. Ever since he heard they were looking for new members a few weeks ago. Or should I think he'll be especially relentless today, since this is his last chance. He knows I'm not super into anime. Oh, alright, already a change. It said MC, but he's actually decent. I'm still trying to find out what SNAFU means. He knows I'm not super into anime, but still wants to join because he's scared of not being able to make new friends. Oh, so that's why. When do you plan on joining a club? Then do you not plan on joining a club at all this year? The thought has crossed my mind, but It'd be a shame to leave the going home club after working so hard to become the president. I say this with more pride than I probably should. Jeez, Ruby, this is why I'm worried you'll end up becoming a NEET. NEET sounds kind of negative. The term stay-at-home husband has a better ring to it. But you're not married? You get so caught up in the little details, Sayori. What about you? Didn't you end up joining a book club or something not too long ago? Did I join a book club? Looks like you're not even trying. Alright, then what parts did I get wrong? It took a second to gather yourself before putting on a smug face. You're looking at a co-founder and the current vice president of our school's very first literature club. I will now allow you to praise me. Huh? Sayori, the vice president of the literature club? The muscles of my face begin twitching as I try to process this information. Hey, you're thinking of something mean, aren't you? Well, yeah, kinda. The pout intensifies as she glares at me. But I think that's great, Sayori. Surprised or not, I'm still really proud of you. I guess that'll be good enough for now. Even though she's still pouting, Sayori does seem a bit happier. Two of us stop once again as we near the school's entrance. Hey Ruby, since this is our last year and you've never been in a real one before, why don't you come be part of the literature club with me? No thanks. But you didn't even consider it! Sorry, but clubs aren't really my thing. But the barrier to entry is probably pretty low if she was able to become the vice president. Alright, chill. She's just too adorable. See, now I can say that. So I'm going for Sayori's route. Although, I've heard there's like a friendship route and a dating route for each character. We'll get there. Sayori glares at me, although she had just read my mind. Will you at least come check out the club room? We're supposed to have... Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. We're supposed to be having cupcakes today, so you could just stop in for one of those. I'm going to check the place out, give me an excuse to keep Kiba from bugging me more about the anime club. Not to mention how this is my last chance to be a part of one. So the idea of being around strangers doesn't exactly tickle my fancy. Alright, I'll stop in for a cupcake and check the place out, but no promises on whether I'll actually join or not. Really? You will? Yay, I'm so happy. Don't worry, you'll definitely love it. I'll come pick you up after the classes have ended. Right. Having secured my agreement, she happily skips away into the building. Visiting a literature club doesn't sound exactly like a good time, but I guess I'll just have to see how things go. Lunchtime! They have period breaks. I like that. Please have more of that throughout the entire mod. It's really cool. After grabbing some lunch from the cafeteria, I make my way to the courtyard before taking a seat in a spot that's hard to see. My goal is to hide away and think more about joining clubs, but this is shot down the instant I feel him approaching. God, I've never liked this guy's red eyes. He's staring into my soul. As though the universe knew I was trying to immerse myself in thought, Kiba had arrived thoroughly to stop me. Glad I managed to catch up with you, Ruby. But why are you so tucked away in this corner all by yourself? I like the question mark. That's a really good sprite. No reason, really. Just figured I'd practice being more antisocial. Okay. Anyways, you know what today is, right? Let's see. Today is time to save. Last day to join clubs. I'm gonna be honest to him. I didn't think you were the type to keep up with that. A little offended about how degrading his tone was right now. Fun. But I guess he is kind of right. Not exactly, it's just that we've already talked to someone today about it. Really? No. Sayori mentioned it on the way to school earlier. Oh, excuse me. It's really late at night. It's midnight. Actually, I should be asleep, but I got a video to record. We ran into each other and ended up walking together. Sayori, huh? Didn't she help start her literature club not too long ago? Yeah, and apparently made herself vice president in the process. For real? No offense, she doesn't really seem like the bookish type. Because she's not. There's no telling what possessed her to go along with it. Blackmail, maybe? Isn't that example way too extreme? You never tell with how people act these days. Was he being serious? Wait. Do you actually believe there's someone out there who's willing to threaten a high school girl just to get a book club informed? If so, your personality's worse than I thought. First off, ouch. Second off, I think that was sarcasm. Well, regardless of why, I'm honestly just surprised she hasn't asked you to join up with her yet. Funny you should say that. She actually did ask me to check the place out after school today. Oh, he looks kind of... He's like, not sad, he's just like, well damn. Well, I can't exactly say I'm fond of the idea. What did you just say? Alright, I changed my mind. He's no longer like, well damn. The hell? Murderous intent begins seeping from Kiba. You're telling me your cute childhood friend personally invited you to join her club, and you don't want to? Do you have any idea of the wars that have been caused by such privilege and arrogance? Calm down, you psycho. I've told you 100 times there's nothing like that going on between us. And you really expect me to believe something so ridiculous? Yeah, Ruby. You really expect me to believe something so ridiculous? Totally going for the friendship route first, though. Neighbors who became childhood friends spent their whole adolescence together, then applied to the same high school. I may miss a lot of things, Ruby, but I can read between those lines plain as day. I'm telling you that you need a reality check. Stories of childhood friends growing up and falling in love only exist in fictitious media. Well, that's real convenient, isn't it, Ruby? Keep his stare grow stronger as though he's trying to uncover some secret I don't even have. You're an imaginary character in a horror game, which isn't even a horror game, practically a dating simulator at this rate. It's like how you have a sister, right? Would you ever date her? Wait, is that what you're into? You're upset because Sayori isn't your sister. Kiba? Not quite. You sicken me, Ruby. Die. No, you creep. That's not the point. They're anime and visual novels where guys date their sisters, right? No! I mean, yes, but I'm not playing that one. Even though stuff like that doesn't actually happen in real life. My relationship with Sayori is the same way. Let's keep it things it's over. I feel a slight pain and some throbbing in my head. Talking about these things still manages to strike a nerve. You did the conversations as nonsensical as this. You good? I'm sorry for all the yawning, but I mean, I don't have a headache. Of course I understand, Ruby. There's no reason to get so worked up. I was only messing with you. Did you feel the way you flat out told me to die a few seconds ago? I can safely assume he was not only messing with me. That was Kiba? Kiba's kinda... Alright, Kiba, listen. I'm still super jealous though. The things I'd have to have a cute childhood friend like you. Well, that ship has probably sailed once you reach our age, huh? You could always try getting a normal girlfriend like every other non-delusional person, or just ask Sayori out. Like, buddy, I'm not the guy in control here. You could do that too. No, the feelings just wouldn't be the same. At least Kiba has some bizarre moment of reflection. Oh well, can't do anything about it now. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Are you serious about there being nothing going on between the two of you? Does that mean you two could properly introduce us? Absolutely not. Huh? You didn't even think about it? Well, let's go back to the sister argument. Seriously, dude, what is your obsession with my sister? She's only 15? Stop being a creep. Shut up for a second. Ruby? Think of it this way. How would you feel if someone tried dating your sister? That's easy. I would personally destroy any criminal who can try laying a hand on her. Damn, like that with Sarah too. The idea of other people getting too close to her bothers me for the same reason you want to defend your sister. Got a point. But hey, you know me. Wouldn't be like introducing her to a stranger. Kiba, I don't want you dating her because I know you. Even though it feels like you just said something really mean. I kind of understand where you're coming from. Good. Now will you hurry up and sit down so we can eat? I can already feel how cold my food has gotten. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Alright. We talk and eat for a while before getting ready to return for our classes, but Kiba stops me right as we're about to leave. You said you weren't sure about whether or not you'd gotten to join Sayori's club, right? Yeah, I haven't fully decided yet. This might not be my place to say, but I think you should. Oh, why's that? Just, I don't know, she went out of her way to invite you, so I think seeing you actually joined would mean a lot to her. Or something like that. He's not wrong. It doesn't take a psychologist to call out. It doesn't take a psychologist to figure out how happy she was when she agreed to stop by. My life must really be flipped upside down if I'm taking advice from you. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, whatever. See you later, Ruby. With that, we parted ways. After school, I love that. I mean, it's in Arial font, but whatever. I stand waiting by my desk once the final bell is rung. I wonder if Sayori's about coming to pick me up? Sorry. I don't think that's the title. Forgot about. Alright, I'm sorry. That changes a lot of the sentence. We could have just met near the club had she told me which room it was in. Oh well, it's not like I agreed to join anyways. I have got to stop yawning. You see, now you're yawning too. I could just keep on yawning and you're yawning on the other end. What the hell? I reach for the door with an equal amount of curiosity and confusion welling up inside me. What's on the other side doesn't exactly warrant much surprise. Sir stands in front of me, hunched over and gasping for air. Want me to call an ambulance? Ruby, what are you doing here? This is my classroom, remember? You told me to wait here until classes ended? Oh yeah, I was making sure you hadn't forgot. Right? So, is everything okay? You were standing at a 90-degree angle when I opened the door. My last class is in the East Wing, and I didn't want to leave you waiting for so long. So I sort of ran all the way over here. Guess it makes sense considering the East Wing is on the opposite side of the building. Yeah, my middle school had that layout. Actually, would running here really have taken her this long? She might not be the most athletic looking girl, but just how slow is she? Hey, you're thinking of something mean again, aren't you? Did you become a psychic recently? Mm-hmm. You weren't supposed to agree with that, you big meanie. Sorry, just trying to get a few hits while I still can. Imagine we'll be in your territory once we reach the club room. The club! That's right! Come on, everyone's probably waiting. Not giving me time to respond, she grabs me by the arm and begins pulling me through the hall. My borderline kidnapping ends when we arrive at a third-year classroom. Sayori doesn't even give me a moment to collect myself before swinging it open the door and throwing me inside. Needless to say, I was not prepared for what I had gotten tossed into. Damn, that girl's gonna kill me one of these days. I did find a typo. Anyways. Having recovered from my shove, I look ahead to find 3 girls watching me with pure bewilderment in their faces. I'm back. Sorry for taking so long, everybody. The perplexed trio all but ignore Sayori as they continue trying to decipher what kind of creature I am. Hello? My name is Ruby. It's nice to meet you all. They all take a second to process the situation before anyone speaks up. Oh, Sayori who she was talking about. Sorry, Ruby. Sayori told us she was being so unbiased. It's not like we weren't expecting it. The instance was just a little bit surprising. I shoot Sayori a quick grimace before responding. No worries. I'm sure you're happy to have a vice president who carries out her duties so energetically. Of course. Though I didn't expect her to take the role of recruiter quite so seriously. An awkward laugh stems from Sayori's direction. I like that. But now that you're here, let me introduce myself. I'm Monica from Class 3A and the current president of the Literature Club. It's nice to meet you. I guess even class stars have proper introductions from time to time. Wasn't the Monica on a debate team or something? How'd you end up as president of the Literature Club? You two should introduce yourselves as well. Oh, right. My name is Yuri. I'm in Class 3C. It's very nice to meet you. She does a polite bow before stepping out of the way. Full of formality, this girl seems more suited to be the student council in the Literature Club. Natsuki, also from Class 3C. Seems to be an unusually large amount of hostility coming from the pink-haired one. Wait, Class 3C? This girl's a 3rd year? Oh, what's shocking. I had no idea anyone in our grade was so petite. You got a problem? Not exactly. I was just surprised. We're all seniors and haven't met prior to now. Ah, that's an American word, you fool. Actually, I don't know. Do Japanese schools use like seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen? Her glare tells me she isn't fully convinced by my excuse. Not meeting all your peers is actually pretty common given the size of our student body, but it's not as though we're all total strangers. Natsuki and Yuri are in the same class, and you and Sayori seem to have known each other for quite some time. Plus, I believe the two of us were also in the same homeroom last year. So she remembers me, huh? I'd almost feel honored if not for how she... Alright then. With introductions out of the way, we actually had some cupcakes for today at the request of our vice president. Monica? Now I understand. Sayori had them bring cupcakes to bait me into coming. Is everything okay? Your face has become awfully red all of a sudden. No problems here. With her grand scheme exposed, Sayori ducks away while fidgeting with her fingers. Why is she making a penthouse with her fingers? Not one to let effort go unrewarded, I found myself. Ow! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was turning around. Jeez, yeah, I'm sorry for smacking my mic like that. Jesus. Not to let my effort go unrewarded, I find myself ruffling your hair. Might want to let others in on your plot next time. Just don't know what you're talking about. Ugh. Can we hurry and eat before these two make me lose my appetite? Huh? Oh. Here, I'll help you get the cupcakes. And allow me to prepare some tea for everybody. Even with the cheery vibe, there's still a tinge of awkwardness in the air. Shouldn't be surprised considering they're all dealing with a total outsider at the moment. These thoughts I can tell it's midnight. These thoughts swirl around my head as I follow Monica to the collection of desks and chairs. These are so cute! Sayori's getting excited about something on the other end of the room as we sit down at a makeshift table. The object of her affection doesn't stay a secret for long, though, as a tray of cupcakes is soon laid out in front of me. Each one was designed to look like a little cat, with eyes and ears being decorated out of icing. What do you think, Ruby? Aren't they super adorable? Adorable may be right, but where do you even buy cupcakes like these? Is having a potential member come visit really worth buying custom-made cupcakes? While I'm lost in thought considering about an advancement of cupcake technology, a tea set and several cups are also placed on the table. Would you care for some as well, Ruby? Oh, yes, please. After thanking you, I can't help but stare at the above-average tea set that appeared out of nowhere. Teacher has allowed us to keep this stored in the closet ever since the club was formed, in case you're curious. She promptly answers the question on my mind without me even having to ask. See, do you always drink tea during meetings? Not always, but I would say more often than not. Well, drinking tea while reading in a quiet room like this does sound rather exciting. Indeed, I'm actually rather fond of that feeling. So fond, she begins zoning out at the thought. What about you, Ruby? Do you enjoy reading in your free time? The question is innocent enough, but still some discomfort in my chest as she asks. My man does not like Yuri. I feel uncomfortable by her asking about my hobbies. Yeah, something along those lines. Books used to be my main source of entertainment, but that changed around my first year of high school. Huh? Her blatant curiosity causes the discomfort to grow slightly stronger. 10 minutes in, I've already get to lie? Wonderful. That one's been a pretty prominent bookworm for as long as I can remember. I just picked the habit up from her at some point. Did you stop reading so much? Is she messing with me? How could you be so nosy with someone you just met? Buddy, she just wants to know you, dude. Life got busier once I entered high school. Most of your time it led to last reading, which eventually ended with the hobby falling to the wayside. As I'm sharing my story, I noticed Sayori's expression becoming increasingly downcast. Aww. I see, then perhaps joining this club will allow you to once again have time to read like you used to. Yeah, maybe. Conscious not to let the topic linger on me, I turn my attention to the cupcakes. Eating sweets isn't usually on my mind, but seeing how this is the quickest route to avoid more talking. Every expectations are blown away. Sweet, almost homemade taste fills my mouth. Where'd you get these cupcakes from? Where? Oh, I see, nobody appears to have told you. These cupcakes are actually made by a very own resident baker in Natsuki. Hey, I don't remember becoming the club's resident baker. You seriously made these? Well, yeah. What about it? I'm just impressed, is all. They taste and look good, so I assume they were custom made at some high-class bakery or something. Thanks, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I made them for you or anything. Just I can't help but recall the seminar Kiba once presented me on the modern workings of a tsundere. A seminar? That sounds like something Kiba would do. Surely that was a coincidence, and my mentality has just been taunted by his wisdom. Talking to Kiba smarter than you think. Trying to ignore Natsuki's occasional red-faced glances, I continue working through my cupcake and tea. Four girls all seems to be what's like a routine conversation after a few minutes of eating. Natsuki's face once again takes a crimson tone. As Sayori gives her cupcakes a raving review. We all thank Yuri for the tea. As she begins collecting her cups and her tea set. My focus happens to land on Monica in the middle of all class. Hi. The fact that she remembered me is oddly unsettling for some reason. Class star or not, my ability to become invisible in a crowd is one of the few things I take pride in. Maybe if she had been the class rep, this would have been more understandable, but I clearly recall her turning down the position to focus on her clubs. Oh. Some tension floats through my temples as the memories slowly come back. Having her in the same homeroom felt like a blessing at first, given how she was bound to draw any and all attention. That was no more than wishful thinking when she became the idol we were all measured against. Oh, the ideal we were all measured against. Unless I had a grudge against her for most of the year because of it, stupid as that may sound. Well, what could I do? The constant comparisons would always remind me of, Ruby? Words quickly break off my train of thought. Do you need something, Monica? You've been staring at me for a while now, so I was wondering if everything was okay. Sorry about that. I was just a little lost in thought. I didn't mean to gawk or make you uncomfortable. I see. Glad to hear you weren't thinking anything ill-fitting of a literature club candidate. Ill-fitting? Wait, did she just call me a... You didn't tell us your friend was a pervert, Sayori. That was fast. Huh? Pervert? That's not... Ruby isn't... He wouldn't... Would you mind saying with a bit more confidence? Would you mind saying... Oh yeah, would you mind saying that with a bit more confidence? This quick just followed karate chop to the head. Ow. Don't worry, Natsuki. I believe it's still too early to declare whether Ruby is a deviant or not. You're not exactly helping my case, you know. Well, I guess this kind of bullying is on par for course when you're the only guy in a group of girls. Literally my regiment. At least last year. I managed to learn a bit more about how the other members during several minutes of... I'm so sorry. I've managed to learn a bit more about each of the other members during the several minutes of lighthearted banter leading up to now. For instance, Yuri enjoys reading serious psychological novels, while Natsuki prefers less complex, cutesy stuff. Along with their taste in literature, the two girls also appear to have polar opposite personalities. Yuri would practically begin shrinking whenever Natsuki's voice hit a certain decibel. Interesting as they both seem, however, these two weren't the only ones who grabbed my attention. There was also Monica, who didn't appear to be any different from how she was back when we were in homeroom together. She's the kind of person who would pass as your best friend after only knowing you for a day. No surprise there. Last but not least was Sayori, who, as you'd expect, was Sayori. Nothing more, nothing less. My goal of listening quietly while trying to learn about everyone is interrupted when the elephant in the room suddenly gets brought up. Now that you have a general idea of the club's atmosphere, what do you think? Are you interested in joining? Something I'd like to know before making my decision, if that's okay. Of course, that's whatever's on your mind. So has any designated activities, like extracurricular stuff it does on a regular basis? Designated activities? Didn't we mention this earlier? We were going to, but kinda kept getting sidetracked. I see, sorry about that. My answer would be no, we don't have anything quite formal. Our time is mostly spent reading or writing or having discussions about what we've recently read or wrote. Of course, this isn't to say we haven't done anything that may fall into the category of extracurricular. It hasn't been around for very long, but we've held some spur-of-the-moment activities at the recommendation of our members. We also fully intend to participate in both the summer and fall festivals. I see. Part of me thought they were just putting on airs, trying to keep the club super relaxed or something, but it really does seem easygoing with little in the way of required effort, not to mention the small number of members. I guess yeah, I'd be happy to join the literature club. Really? You're seriously gonna join? Sure, I don't have any reasons not to. Yes, I'm so happy. Sarah immediately wraps her arms around me and is jumping up and down. Hey! Let's turn their attention to me as I try prying off the vice president. Glad to hear you've decided to join the club after all. Consider yourself lucky. I'd have been super pissed had you just come for the cupcakes. And it's official. Welcome to the literature club. Yeah, thanks for having me. Oh, and one more thing that might be good to know. The club meets every day of the week, but attendance isn't necessarily required since we don't have any set activities. So I'd like you to come as often as you can. Don't worry too much if you end up not being able to make it. In those instances, just try to let me know ahead of time. I'll also inform everyone beforehand if we ever have to cancel a meeting. Don't worry about him missing, Monica. Ruby has anything important to do this time of day. Never has anything important to do this time of day. Anyways. Oh, is that right? Ow! She sounds like again roughly rustling her hair. You sound like a slacker, will you? Sorry. My attention turns to Monica once the cheeky vice president has been dealt with. I said I'll let you know ahead of time if I'm going to miss, right? Is telling Sayori good enough, or is there another way for me to contact her? Well, we actually have a messenger group for the club where you can inform us of such things as absences. That's also how you'll receive news about cancelled meetings. You have a vice president add your email now that you're a member. Right, Sayori? Yes, ma'am. She mumbles while rubbing over her head. Okay, everyone, with that settled, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. So my first day of literature club has officially come to an end. Sayori stands pounding inside the doorway. Staring cuts doesn't last before ending exactly what you expect. Aren't you gonna say anything? Oh yeah. Good afternoon, Sayori. Wonderful weather we're having today. It's a shrill shriek, with Freddy lit every dog in the neighborhood running for cover. Jeez, that's not what I meant! Oh, then would you mind giving me a hint? She immediately points to the top of her head. I'm ready to check for lights. God damn it. Oh, I'm gonna like this MC. No, you're a big meanie. Look at how badly you messed up my hair. Really? Yeah, I thought I was doing you a favor by fixing it. Can't fault a guy for an honest mistake. Her face slowly takes the form of a predator ready to strike down its prey. This might be a good time to lay off. Yep. Cussing a commercial on my first day would likely come back to bite me in the ass. Alright, well, nice saying it. Sorry, Sayori, might have gone a little overboard. Don't worry about your hair. The messiness is part of what makes you cute. Cute? It's like she's still weak into the blatant lip service even after all these years. Well, I guess it was kind of messy to begin with. I silently slip past her as she continues trying to bury her blush. Coming? Huh? Since we're both here, I figured we could walk home together. Jesus. Unless you got somewhere else to be. Nope, we totally can. Let me just grab my stuff real quick. While the club meeting went smoothly enough, I'm soon presented with another difficult situation. This time involving Sayori. Between me joining the club and the bonus of us walking together, you'd think she'd be on Cloud 9 right about now. But that high she was riding on soon came crashing down about halfway through her commute. Look at that sad. No. Given our expressions usually land within a large range of happy and manic, most people would think something truly awful had happened if they saw her like this. Of course, I'd have been friends with her long enough to know she isn't always brimming with joy. But I'm also aware of how hard she tries whenever she's feeling down. Judging by how she looks now, she's probably so lost in thought that she isn't aware of her appearance. But to handle her more serious side has never been particularly good. Seeing her this way never fails to make my chest hurt. Guess I need to break the ice first. Hey, sorry, mind if I ask you something? Huh? You look so somber. It's just a small detail I've been thinking about for a while now. Sure. I don't mind, but hearing you ask for permission first is a little bit scary. So this is important, so I wanted to give you some time to brace yourself. Brace myself? Well, I've been wondering. Have you gained weight? Huh? Huh? What do you mean, gained weight? Has that worked well enough? Aw, he's trying to cheer her up. Getting her to talk would have been nearly impossible if she kept brooding. Do you really think there was big lunch and she becomes less and less coherent until I finally decide her brain is in need of a good rebooting. How? The quick forehead flick will be enough to realign her nervous system. What was that for? Scared you start leaking in tongues and don't end up being cursed. It wasn't your fault for saying something so mean. Don't you know you're supposed to be considerate when talking to girls? Yes, but I also don't want to do anything that would reinforce gender stereotypes. Jeez, how can you say stuff like that? Do you really think I've gained weight? Nope, not in the slightest. Plus, I likely wouldn't notice even if you did. Huh? Then why did you say that? Because you've been sulking for a while now and I wanted to find out why. Sulking? Yeah, you started acting real down not long ago after we left the club. I was hoping I'd be able to help if you told me what was going on. Sorry, Ruby. So you're keeping it to yourself after all? No, I'm sorry. Pressing you to join the club. It's come so far out of left field I stand dumbstruck for a moment before realizing nobody's speaking. Hold on, why are you apologizing? Well, it's just... I looked really upset when you asked if you liked reading, and then you started talking about your mom. Oh! Oh! Make me sad. I noticed Sayori's mood dropped during that conversation, but I didn't expect it to keep nagging at her. I should know better. The situation's my fault. I've been friends with Sayori long enough to know that she'll carry stuff like this forever if you won't step in. It's something I've been acutely aware of, and I've tried dodging for the majority of our time together. I tried wearing a convincing smile resting my hand on her head. The world would be a better place if your attention to detail translated to other things, you know. She didn't respond, leaving me to speak in a more serious manner. Listen. I'll admit to being a little uneasy at the time, but only because of how long it's been since I last thought about that stuff. Joining the club was my decision, one I wouldn't have made if it had seemed like too much to handle. Jesus. So don't worry too much, okay? It's all in the past now. These words feel specifically shallow for being told to Sayori. She knows more than anyone about my situation and how poorly I've handled it for the past few years. Are you sure? I want you to be uncomfortable because of me. I'm positive. The connection between the two hadn't occurred to me until your question. Come on, if you do, go to waste if you keep frowning. You really don't play fair, you know that? I had a vague understanding. As we continue on towards our houses. Sayori does seem to be in a somewhat better mood, but now I feel like the one who's brooding. She always gets downcast whenever anything related to my family situation comes up. After all these years, I notice how she deliberately takes steps to avoid topics that even slightly coincide with my past. Coincide. She was probably so excited about asking me to join her club that she legitimately didn't make a connection between the two. This girl really is too nice for her own good. Well, they usually spend the time after school studying, making dinner, and then going for the occasional jog. Attending the club meeting today totally drained me. Socializing has never been my strong suit, but hopefully I'll grow more accustomed to being around the others. Thinking this, I scarfed down a plate of leftovers before retiring to my bedroom. Thursday, spring semester. Thursday, April 7th. Oh, it's June 7th right now. Well, I guess it just hit midnight, so it's like 24 minutes into it. But, yeah, I'll save it here. I will save it here. So that's been fun. I like that a lot. It's been fun so far. I definitely like it. I've always been a fan of slice of life and stuff. It's gonna make many. Alright, good. Saved it. And, yeah, I mean... MTD SNAFU, also known as My Doki Doki SNAFU. Sounds pretty good. I'm gonna have to find out what SNAFU means. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. Definitely going for... So I've heard that there's a friendship and love route. I'll definitely try going for the friendship route first, because I really want the ending of this to feel special. I want to do all the Sayori stuff and then head out of that. But, it's fun. Kiba seems cool, I guess. There's 11 routes, which seems odd, according to the download website. So, I'll have to see what that is. I don't actually think I'm uploading it today. I think I'm uploading it in the morning. But, it was fun. And, yeah, thanks. Again, thanks. Good night, and you'll hear from me tomorrow.